Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the season 33 finale of Dancing with the Stars here on Reality Hour. I'm Grace, and I was robbed. And Adam's here, ready to gloat. Have fun with it.
Yes. Is this my of the episodes that we podcast? Which what number one is this? Is this two for Dancing with the Stars?
Yes.
Dang. So yeah, we have a winner, Joey of The Bachelor, our first Bachelor winner. Any milestones here? Any like other first winner to not get a 10 on the freestyle? What do we got?
No, that's not the case. But yeah, he's the first guy from The Bachelor to win. Actually, the first one to make it to the finale, but the other ones all sucked. So that's not really saying a lot. Um we had other milestones. Also Jenna's first win of a real season, because the only other season she won was the athlete season. And the trophy is staying in her house because Val's her husband and he won last season. But we also had the first all-black couple to make it to the finale. Ilona was the first rugby player ever on the show. Steven was the first man gymnast ever on the show. And then Danny and Whitney were just Danny and Whitney.
But yes, so let's kind of talk through the headline. So Joey comes in first, Ilona comes in second. You want to read the rest?
Chandler unfortunately got third, Steven fourth, Danny fifth.
What are the surprises here, other than the obvious that I could predict from you? Are there any surprises, or is this how you thought this was going to shake out?
I mean, here's the thing. I know some of you saw my Twitter tantrum with Joey winning, and I don't regret any of it. I had a few other TikTok things, but anyway. My problem with this is not Joey winning. It's Chandler coming in third. First of all, she should have won, but like the fact that she not only
in second.
What?
It was your contestant in second.
I know, but like Ilona, I would have put Ilona in third, but I would have had Chandler at least. I mean, Chandler not only not winning but getting third place, like that's not okay. Ilona coming in second was a surprise, although it probably shouldn't have been, because not based on dancing, but because she has a huge social media following, and not to mention Joey's freestyle sucked.
Well, so Joey in first, Ilona in second. Was there anything Chandler could have done that was that she was missing, or was this kind of a foregone conclusion?
I just don't think Chandler had the votes. I mean, it's clear she did not have the votes.
Yeah, I am shocked she's not in second. I don't really know how Ilona. I thought Ilona was going to be out a long time ago.
Ilona has a lot of fans,
apparently. And yeah, so we also had pulling up the rear. We had Danny and Steven.
Those I would have kept. I would have kept Steven fourth, Danny fifth.
I maybe would have put Steven fifth, honestly. But anyway, so these are our results. I got my crown, my yearly tradition. I got to dust it off. And yeah, I guess we'll kind of let's talk through the show. Let's talk through the performances. You want to do it in reverse order? Let's talk Danny, then we'll talk Steven, then we'll talk.
That's how my notes are. So yeah, let's do it. And I actually did write notes on the semifinals because I should have known that nobody was going home, but I took notes anyway just in case. So Danny and Whitney first. Semifinals, we had a Viennese waltz to Gravity, a salsa to I Like It, the finale, Redemption Tango to I Had Some Help, and the Barbie themed freestyle, which what was Whitney thinking with that one?
That might have been, of these five, the worst. The worst, in my opinion.
I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it just did not fit Danny at all. Like, I mean, Whitney's first freestyle was her only winning freestyle with Alfonso, and it's still one of my favorite freestyles from any winner. Of course, I love Alfonso, but like I found it hard to believe that like this came from the same choreographer.
Yeah, what a mess. This felt like a jazz performance. Like that's kind of like gets not as high. I was like, what? I always thought freestyles in my mind are like your final stamp on the show. It's like you really push what you do. And I was like, what does he do? What's and like part of the performance didn't even it was like it was wit it was like he wasn't even involved in a part of it. I was like, what's
Yeah, the whole
what a
Lizzo section,
questionable
like
choice.
the choice of Barbie just felt more like a Whitney showcase than a Danny showcase, and that's not what the freestyle should be. Like
Maybe
Whitney
they
needed
knew.
to showcase. I mean, Danny was never going to win anyway, and I don't know if Whitney just knew that and didn't care, but like Whitney should have showcased Danny.
Yeah, like
And I mean, you have a
story.
football player, and you think, oh, let's do Barbie.
Ilona's freestyle felt like what a freestyle is on these shows.
Mm-hmm.
This was just like I have no idea what this was. This felt like I said, I felt like a throwaway. I was like, okay,
Well, Danny was kind of a throwaway, to be fair. The tango I didn't think was really that bad, but like I wanted to be impressed, and I wasn't. So him getting 5th place, even though he's on my team, I was content because I figured I was going to win. I figured wrong, but even if I were to win, it would have been with one of the girls.
all right. Well, any final thoughts for Danny?
Matthew, Danny's freestyle being the worst you've ever seen. Does that include Adam Rippon or Bobby Bones?
Let's move on. Next up, we have Steven.
Yeah, Steven. Okay, so the semifinal, we had a really bad cha-cha to Bailar, and then a tango to Sweet Disposition, and then the finale, we had a redemption quick step to I'll Be There For You, better known as the Friends theme song, and a Riley's first ever freestyle to Viva La Vida. Semifinals for Steven, bad week to have a bad week.
Yeah, Steven was my first pick in this draft. I had high hopes. My hopes for him just slowly fizzled out over the season. And I felt like his freestyle was kind of cumulative of it all. Because I know the freestyles are supposed to be like your mark, you've like Ilona, like it's just all the different, it's your final stamp on the show. But I can't deal with the gymnast, like the pommel horse thing. I can't, because he's done it already. I'm like, I've seen this. Like you've done this on the show already. It felt repetitive. It felt like
right.
he
Now
just keeps doing the same thing.
A lot of people I saw online actually liked his freestyle better than the other 5, but better than the other 4. They thought it was the best one. I thought it was good, especially for Riley's first freestyle. But I mean, I just didn't think it was a winning routine. I did like it. But
It was
yes,
good, but I was just like, come on. I get that he's good at this, but like, is that it? Like,
well, I mean, he is
like,
a specialist.
True, but as a person, like, there's more to just, that. I don't know. It just, I was like,
and then, but also the quick step, like the whole Joey Chandler thing, and then they get the Friends theme song. It just kind of felt like, I mean, no one told us life was going to be this way.
No one did.
I love Friends. Right. It was better than his Soul Train quick step. But like I noticed a few things, and Derek even pointed them out. So good for Derek. He got 4th place. He's hosting the entire tour. Danny's not going on the tour at all, but yeah, Steven's going to be on the whole thing. And I mean, well, he went to Penn State, and I am from Pennsylvania. I'm from the Philly area, so I'm not near State College at all, but they are doing a stop in University Park, and they're probably going to go nuts for that dude.
All right. Now, 3rd place. We got your girl.
In case you want to know how I reacted when she got announced as 3rd place.
Hold on. Let's do it together. On 3. 1, 2, I love that we have these.
That was how I reacted when they got third place. I mean, so on Monday night or semifinals, salsa, excuse me, I can't even talk anymore, to Spicy Margarita, the Jason Derulo and Michael Bublé duet that exists somehow, and a
Jason
foxtrot
Derulo.
to Too Sweet by Hosier. And then on the finale, we had a redemption jive to Opt by Rose and Bruno Mars, which is now a viral TikTok song. And Brandon's first ever
Bruno's a
freestyle
trendsetter.
to, huh?
She's a trendsetter.
She really is. And a freestyle to Hell's a Poppin' and Move On Up.
All right, hot take. Ready? Ready? Chandler's Jive was the best performance of the finale.
You are correct. It for
It was
me, it
fun.
rivaled Alfonso's jive, and you know how I feel about that guy.
Yeah,
Um,
so much fun. Loved it. I've rewatched it like a couple of times. That's how much I enjoy it. And the
it
only other
was
performance of the season that I've done is Joey's shout performance.
yeah, so Carrie Ann is under fire because she called out some lifts in the Foxtrot in the semifinals. I caught at least one of them. So
Uh-oh.
as much as I dislike Carrie Ann and I think she's the worst judge out of these three, I caught it too. So and I'm not nearly as trained of an eye as she is. Um, but yeah, the jive was really great. If she didn't win after that, the fact that she didn't win after that, and then I did like the idea of having an all black freestyle celebrating black performers. It didn't really feel like a showcase for Chandler, but I did like the idea of it. Like, so I'm not going to fault Brandon in that regard. Like, I liked his idea, but I feel like he maybe, I mean, should he make the finale again, he's got to showcase his partner more. And it can be done.
Yeah. Well, I think she was still robbed a second, but
She was robbed of number one. She should have won. Um, but yeah, I know that's another part, Kim, of why Carrie Ann is under fire, and some people are calling for her to be removed. I'm not convinced. I won't complain. I mean, I would rather see her leave than Bruno. And I feel like if Bruno ever does leave the show, it's going to be in the form of retirement. Like Len's, well, okay, Len retired and then died, but unfortunately.
bit of a leap there.
Well, no, the worst part is I didn't actually, when Len announced that he was leaving, I didn't believe it. And then I looked like a giant asshole.
Oy, oy. All right. Well, Alona, somehow our second place. How did was it just the social media following?
That was part of it, but also she had a really good last 2 weeks, and Steven had a really bad semifinal. But yeah, so the semifinal, we had a Paso Doble to Unholy and a Viennese Waltz to Golden Hour. Her redemption dance was a jive, obviously. Who would have thought, though, after Come On Feel the Noise, that she would have not only made the finale, but came in second place? I don't know if she would have thought that, because I thought a lot of people thought she was going home that week, even I think she might have thought she was going home that week. And a freestyle to What We Need Is a Femininomenon.
Was this the song? I kept hearing them sing Paw Patrol in it. Was I going nuts?
Paw Patrol?
It sounded like it. I was like, why do they keep saying Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol?
I'm serious. Go re-listen to it. It sounded like it.
Dude, can you just play a song with a fucking beat?
Ooh.
It's a lyric in the song.
Oh boy.
And it's okay. This is YouTube. We can swear. But yeah, Ilona, they were not surprised at all to get a jive for their redemption dance. I don't think anybody was. It was better, but like, here's the thing with Ilona. Over the course of the competition, she is a lot more confident. Their freestyle, Alan did a great job showcasing Ilona. It was great from start to finish. Yeah, like Kim, I see your point. I thought the freestyle at times there was a bit too much going on. But I mean, not only did she come in second place on Dancing with the Stars, she actually just signed with a rugby team out in the UK, so
Good
she's
for
moving
her.
on up. Move on up. Da, da. I have really enjoyed watching Alona this year. I'm gonna miss her. I She was never gonna win, but I was very surprised she got second place.
Yes.
And yes, Matthew is right. She grew the most throughout the season. We love growth arcs. We stand growth arcs.
Yeah. So, yeah, good for her. She made it to second. All right. Our winner, Joey.
Not my winner.
I will kick us off saying definitely not his strongest week. I didn't really love the freestyle. I didn't kind of get the whole tennis, regardless.
Well, I mean, he's a tennis coach.
I guess, but like, felt a little weird. I don't know. I got the vibe now that he's won. Joey was probably running away with this.
He might have been, especially after Jen got eliminated. A lot of the Bachelor votes started going to him, and we all know, anyone who's watched this show for as long as I have knows, Bachelor Nation carries a very heavy vote on this show. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, he might have been the first guy from The Bachelor to make it this far, but like, first of all, as I said before, the other ones pretty much all sucked. I mean, Grocery Store Joe made it to the semifinal and he was horrible. Like, he got the lowest score every single week. But he's forgiven now because of who actually won that damn season. But anyway, so the Cha-Cha, Can't Stop the Feeling. I am so sick of this song. I'm so ungodly sick of this song. It was a really good dance. But like, they kind of were in a tough spot with this redemption dance because they were never really awful. They were always good.
They were good with moments of brilliance. I would say
Yeah,
like Chandler had more highs, but like
nobody's moment of brilliance is in week 1 that I can think of. And then the freestyle to Canned Heat, which is the same song that Candace Cameron Bure did for her freestyle back in season 18, and she got 3rd place. But yeah, this was inspired by tennis, and it was not good. And of course, I mean, Jenna is also responsible for Adam Rippon's terrible freestyle, which is probably the worst freestyle I've seen from any winner. And I say that as somebody who never watched Bobby Bones' freestyle. But it wasn't good. And the fact that he won after that, like,
this was the Napoleon Dynamite song.
huh?
Canned Heat?
You know this boogie is for real. Yeah, it was horrible. Not a winning moment, but he won the show. Jenna finally won a real season. She got her 2nd trophy before Whitney did, and I still don't know how that happened, but c'est la vie.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy Joey won. I feel like we were on the cusp
Of course you are.
I don't watch the episodes live, so the following morning I purposefully avoid our reality hour group chat, and I go directly to MJ's big vlog, and I go to the recap of the episode, and I scroll down, and I get to like the results are read one at a time, and it was, imagine it's like 4 a.m. I've like just woken up. I'm like scrolling down, and I see like Chandler in 3rd. I'm like, ooh, and then I was like, wait a minute, that means Alona's in 2nd, and for like a good maybe 10 seconds, I had like, what if Alona won? And then I saw the end and I was like, okay. I feel like we were on the cusp of this having a very, as much as Alona seems lovely, I feel like between these two, I think the outcome was clear.
And Matthew, to bring it to a point, I felt like the shift in fan base really kind of happened with the Disney Plus switch. The fan base got considerably younger. Like, I don't think Charlie or Sochi would have won an ABC only season.
No, Charlie would have
Well,
won.
Sochi still might have, but Charlie
would
probably
have.
not.
No, Charlie would have. Charlie is incredible.
I don't think Charlie would have won an ABC season. I feel like the older fans would just not have supported her, kind of like how they're not supporting Chandler. But speaking of which, so we've talked about the final 5. The only extra performances I wrote about were Sochi
Mark
and Val, who were so much better than all 5 of these people. And Mark and Derek, who there is a reason those 2 have been in the finals more than anybody else in the history of the show.
How do we get Mark back? What do we do? What do we got to do? Why?
We don't. Although Matthew did suggest an all-star season for next season, or like he predicted it. I don't know if it's going to happen. But I have 2 things. Number 1, if Bobby Bones is a contestant, I am not watching. Not only am I not watching, but I'm voting for everyone but him.
Would you vote for Carol Baskin?
She wouldn't be there.
But if she was?
She wouldn't.
But if she was?
Of course not.
But if she was?
Another suggestion is that they have an all-star season. Not only do Alfonso and Julianne host it, they compete together. Do not tell me they wouldn't win, because they absolutely would.
Who would I want in an all-star season?
Also, we didn't talk about Julianne dancing last on the semifinals.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a bit of an ego trip, but I don't blame her. Somebody suggested, though, that Mark and both Huff siblings are now too good to be pros on this show anymore. They kind of are, but like, Julianne deserves a 3rd trophy, so let's have an all-star season. Alfonso and Julianne compete and host at the same time.
And judge at the same time. She performs and she runs, and she judges at the same time. So she performs and runs.
She's the co-host.
She does all of them. She does the co-host too. She just does the judging and everything.
She's done everything. You've said it before. She's done everything. She was a pro at 18 years old. She won twice. Then she was a guest judge and a permanent judge, and now she's the co-host. She's done it all. Wow. Mario Lopez and Khloe Kardashian could never. Although Mario was actually the runner-up of season 3, and I would not complain if he did the all-star season. As a contestant, not as a host.
We'll see. But yeah, that's our episode, and that I guess is our
season 33
season. Do you have any like favorite moments or performances from the season you want to give a shout out to, or?
Just loved seeing. Yes, Kim. Juan Pablo was my season 27 winner. Actually, just bring back the entire cast of season 27 minus the winner and Grocery Store Joe, and just redo that whole season. Just redo the whole thing. No Bobby Bones, no Grocery Store Joe, and see how it turns out. But yeah, so some of my favorite moments. Definitely Chandler's jive.
Come on, say Joey. Say Joey's shout. Those are the 2 performances of the season for me. It was Chandler's jive and Joey's.
Maybe Joey's Disney night dance, just because of how viral it went. But
what was it again? I don't even remember.
The trash in the camp dance.
Oh God. And on that note, all right.
Yes, next season is season 34. I said already that I'm not watching, but I know this one over here does not believe it.
Are we confirmed? Is the season renewed?
Not officially, but if
it's going to happen.
If it goes down like it did this season, I don't know if I'm going to watch. And I know everyone every time I say that I'm not watching, I get Adam and Eric going, "Yes, you are."
If you're in the chat and you're watching, raise your hand if you think Grace will be watching next season, regardless. Give a thumbs down if you think she isn't. But yeah, fun season. solid winner. I know Grace disagrees, but
Any changes you would make? I mean, I have a few things that I would say for next season to change.
Up the budget so we could get better people.
Well, let's see. No instant dance round again.
Yeah. Okay.
No. Go back to a 4-person finale. Go back to a 2-hour finale.
Go back to a 3-person finale.
That I wouldn't complain about. Although they used to do back when it was 2 nights. They would have Monday night they would have a final 4. Somebody would be cut at the end of the night. And then they'd have the final 3 on Tuesday. That I didn't hate. But yeah, like no more instant dancing. Keep Alfonso and Julianne as the hosts. They've been great. Keep Derek and Bruno for sure. Carrie Ann. I doubt they're going to replace Carrie Ann with Mark. I feel like they need to have a woman. Or bring Julianne back as a judge and make Carrie Ann the co-host. Just demote her. Or is that even a demotion? I don't know.
Probably the same.
Oh, and get rid of the voting cap. Who likes the voting cap? Nobody.
Oh boy. All right. Anything else, Grace?
No, but anything you would change for next season? Or anybody you want next season?
Who would I want next season?
I want Jason Kelsey.
Who would I want? That's a good question. I didn't even think about it. I'm going to need to think about it. TV, I will come back to that, but I probably won't because...
Any changes you'd make for next season? Or did I cover all the bases?
Better stars? I don't... I when we started...
Yeah, no criminals. Please, no criminals.
Oh, God. And on that note, I want to just give a shout out as we kind of close out the season to Matthew, Kimberly, and everyone else who joined us in the chat over these episodes. We will be back in February for American
March
Idol.
9th is when American Idol starts.
With Eric, who I very much miss having on these episodes. But we will be back then. Any final thoughts, Grace, on the season of 2024 shows?
I lost both drafts, and that is never going to happen again. I need to start winning again.
Oh, boy.
I win 4 times in a row, and then...
Give me 2025, Grace. What's happening?
Who knows?
Oh, boy. All right.
Nobody, so peace.
What's a funny way to like close this episode to be like?
We didn't have puns this season. Like we've had trees, we've had horses. We didn't have anything this year.
Yeah, it was kind of like really. I don't know. I feel like Idol will be more fun.
Carrie is the GOAT.
I thought
she is not number 2. She's number 1.
I thought you have the GOAT in the other like. All right. Good night, guys. Enjoy the holiday season, and hopefully we'll see you next year. All right.
Bye.